I am Nathan from NN Comics, and I'm the artist.
I'm Niall from NN Comics, and I am the writer.
Not the artist.
Not the artist.
Yeah.
Where did NN Comics and Doire 2030 come from?
Well, NN Comics started in 2013. Alright, yeah. 2013. I met Niall at a club we used to attend together, and I needed a writer because I wanted to draw something, and Niall was a really good writer. We came together.
Continues to be.
It continues to be a really good writer. And we came together and we made our first book, Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf. And that's when we started deciding we'll call ourselves NN Comics. Not very creative for two very creative people. So Niall, Nathan. And from that, we kickstarted that, and then we had to stick with the company name. So that's where NN Comics really started.
And Doire 2030 was kind of just kind of came from an idea Nathan had. He drew this picture of a guy in front of a robot, and he said to me, write a script for it, see what happens. So I wrote this bizarre script of a guy listening to Carry On My Wayward Son whilst in front of this giant robot. And then and later on I went down to meet Nathan, and I just had this whole scrapbook full of ideas for this series. And he was like, right, let's do that then. So that's when this
Didn't really
became
have much of a choice.
No, it was really good though.
Why set Doire 2030 in Derry? More importantly, why choose Derry as a setting in a superhero story where you wouldn't often see that?
Well, I think it's because it's never been done before. Because I mean, you've got zombies in Derry stories, and you've got Celtic mythology all around the island, but you've never really got that classic superhero mythos. And that's really what we both love, so we kind of thought, why not do it somewhere that people can read it and relate to say, yeah, I've been there in that place where that giant robot got beaten down by a guy with flaming hands. And because you enjoy it more if you can put a face to it, if you can you actually know where you are. And it's really because it was such a good place for us, because we lived in Derry all our lives, we love the place, so it's like, why not do something we love with a place we love and blow it up mercilessly.
It's easier for me to draw.
Easier for you to
because
draw.
I know the place quite well. So,
who or what are your creative inspirations? Are there any films?
So my creative inspirations are all very artsy based. My major inspiration's always been John Romita Jr. He's an artist who originally drew Spider-Man. But he draws kick-ass as well, and you see his artwork is quite nice and clean, but he's got this really interesting texture details. I remember when I was quite young, that's how I got into drawing, was by copying Spider-Man from his comic books and drawing from that, and then from that I started drawing my own stuff. And sometimes you can see a little bit of his style in my artwork, which is quite nice.
My inspirations have always been kind of different books and writers I've loved, and I mean, obviously, Joss Whedon has a massive influence to me. Just in the way he writes, just the intense action and the intense drama, but also masked with that bit of comedy as well. To actually liven up the characters and make you enjoy the characters more.
All praise Joss Whedon.
All praise Joss Whedon. But I suppose also, there's a lot of kind of influences I've taken from a lot of different films. Particular stuff like the Blues Brothers is always something I use, just that kind of that relationship, that brother, couple of brother relationship, and they just kind of, they accept what's going on, they don't question it, they just continue on down the road. I mean, I suppose whenever you go along, you pick up inspiration from everywhere. No one, like I say, no one has one original idea. You're making an amalgam of all the other ones.
It's all the little pieces that you gather throughout your life, and then you can culminate in this beautiful
one gorgeous Lego creation that is Doire 2030. The political conflicts and the troubles are always a big factor in Northern Irish film and television and all that kind of stuff. And I think when we created Doire 2030, one of our big drives was to differ from that. We looked at all the different things you've got, all the great movies that come out of Northern Ireland. They're all troubles related. We don't have anything, we have very few things that you can say, yeah, this is about how great Northern Ireland is. It's just about how sucky our past was. You know, so whenever we were creating this, we were like, let's do something that people can enjoy, and people can say, yeah, that's my city. It may be dystopian, it may have, you know, severely blown up, but you still have the essence of the city, you still have that hope, and that's the big thing we wanted to portray through Doire 2030, which is something that I don't think you get in a lot of the other kinds of media, is just that hope, that natural hope of all Derry people.
It's not so much focusing on the destruction.
Yeah, it's not the destruction, it's the people standing back up.
It's the other side of it, yeah.
And no matter what happens, you know, Northern Irish people, Derry people, we stand back up. When we get knocked down, we get back up. And that's the whole point of Doire 2030. The city gets back up whenever it gets hit by the biggest smack of its life, really.
What type of film or stories would you want to see made in Northern Ireland and by Northern Irish artists, and why?
Well, I've always said if they scrapped like the original Aragon film and just remake it as a TV show, like putting a lot of effort into every episode to really explain the story, like Northern Ireland would be such a beautiful setting for it. Because it's just got like the beautiful hillsides and the beautiful forests and like the little cottages and villages and like the sea. So I mean, it's got all the locations necessary for a great fantasy story, and Aragon happens to be one. So that'll be like my personal favourite.
And I think it's got great settings for doing like a truly great comedy. You know, I mean, something like your classic Father Ted, your Black Book, all that kind of stuff. I mean, the only comedies we have set in Northern Ireland are crap like Mrs. Brown's Boys, which is just ripping the shit into our actual, the accent. I mean, whenever they could be making really in-depth, hilarious stuff. I mean, look at our government. I mean, there is hours worth of material there, and yet it's not used. I mean, we could easily have a Northern Irish thick of it, and it would be brilliant.
It's not like Give My Head Piece, though.
Yeah, but Give My Head Piece still makes fun of the actual concept rather than, getting really into the grim and gritty. Just something with a laugh track. That's what I'd like.
What do you hope readers take away from your comics?
Personally, I hope they like the artwork.
Short and to the point.
Straight to the point. Like the artwork. I mean, I hope they really enjoy the experience and like start to love the characters. 'Cause, I mean, Niall's lovingly crafted these guys. So, I mean, what do you reckon?
Yeah, well, I just want them to kind of enjoy the concept, enjoy the story, and just want to think about what these characters are doing, want to think about how they got there, and want to just come back for the next issue, and I mean, it's like Nathan says, we've worked really hard on these characters, and I think, we just want to do them justice, really, we want to make sure that people enjoy these people that, we've really just made up and we actually like. So, I just want people to enjoy it.
We want people to like them as much as we like them.
Yeah. This pathological, nerdy need to be liked, but not even need to be liked to ourselves, need to be liked for our creations.
So, yeah, love us.
Alright, thanks.
All right. Yeah.
Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah.